So, this Gemini energy has been hitting me pretty hard. That's what I've been talking about, like that polarity kind of different extremes happening in the, just like, because it's an air sign, so it's like very, that's why it can seem like you're being bipolar or scattered or what, because it's so dualistic, black and white extremes, polarity, the Gemini energy, and then on top of it, it's an air sign. So, and my Mars is in Gemini, and my Jupiter is in Aries, and my twins is the reverse of that. His Mars is in Aries, and his Jupiter is in Gemini. So, and I have a pretty heavy air aspect, Mercury and Aquarius too. So, but yeah, this Gemini energy is like, yeah, I get these things coming in, and then I'm like, don't really see it happening yet. Don't feel the energies maybe all the way present, and then I start questioning, like, was that, I don't know, is that what's, then boom, yep, it's like, it's always inevitable, we are very affected by, everything's energy, so it's all, all interweaving, all happening together, affecting, all of it's affecting all of it. So, yeah, you may seem a little scattered during this, whenever it's Gemini time. You can really go to but see, they see the black and the white, the dark and the light, and so they just kind of accept it, and I'm very much, right in line with that. So I resonate very highly with most Gemini, so mainly because of that aspect, they can just see both sides, so they just see things clearly. They see the both sides, so there's no, like, judgment, because they perceive each side with just as much perception as the other, okay, with just as wide of a scope. So, and it's very air, very thought oriented, and everything starts with the thought. So if you can master your thoughts, that's a big part of self-mastery. So, shout out to all the Geminis out there feeling your energy. It's kind of cool. It's, there's some like up. I couldn't get to sleep till like 3:30. I don't even know what time. And then I just crashed. Boom. I was like, God, should I do a reading now? And then just like totally drain my energy so I can pass out. And so I'm like, maybe I should just take a shower. And so I did that. And, of course, because my head's like driving me crazy. But we won't get into that. Maybe at the end. But so we're going to use, as I'm talking a little bit, this is the Brotherhood of White Light. Is that what it is? Brotherhood of Light. Okay. So felt called to use the Egyptian deck. Feeling the Isis energy lately. And then perhaps the shamanic. That's the Lover's card right there. I forget which one that is. I think that's the Ten of Cups. I'm not sure. But so we'll see what cards come up. So yeah, I went to go take a shower. I'm like, okay, I'll just go do a reading. And then I started almost like blacking out. Cause I don't know. It's like the energies lately. And my stomach, I was like, it was growling, but I'm like, I'm just drinking kombucha. I had like a half a cup of coffee, and I'm like, because I wasn't really feeling that anyway, and I shouldn't have had that, and I just had half of it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a fast, just to like, it's just good to do every once in a while. Sometimes your body just gets really satiated for, all the flavors, all the vitamins, all the everything. Your body feels good, so you can just like drink some water, or you know, liquid maybe, like some fresh, like homemade pineapple juice, whatever, you know, fresh. Having a juicer is a very important part of my life. And so, and you can add powdered green, like wheatgrass powder and stuff, and alkalize it. So if you are cleansing, you can still have your juices and then keep your body slightly alkaline, like when you're cleansing. So 7's neutral. You want to be not at 8, but more on, you know, in between 7 and 8. Not at 7, that's neutral, no less, because that's acidic, and that's what all the parasites feed off of. And okay, so we want to be slightly alkaline. And one of the viewers out here, Cree woman, shout out to you if you're watching, she actually gave me the idea you could just put it in your coffee, and I was thinking, yeah, that's so smart. I got some pH test strips, so you could just sprinkle a little bit of baking soda in anything that you're drinking, not enough to taste it or whatever, and then just neutralize the acidity, at least neutralize the acidity of it, so you're not going into acid, you know, if you're trying to be slightly more alkaline, because that's, you know, the alchemy, the inner alchemy. When you're slightly more alkaline, that stuff can't, you know, live in there, live in your body. Parasites, all kinds of things. Molds, funguses, all that. Oh, when I did baking soda water cleanse, oh my god, I had so much dye off, so that's why I had to shave my head. It just busted. I mean, the Morgellons really love just all of your whole body. But I saw mostly head. Anywhere you sweat a lot, they're really coming out of the sweat glands. And that's just, you know, trusting in the process. Your body does everything it needs to do. There's little cilia, like up your nose and on cells and stuff to push stuff, move stuff out of your body. So all your skin cells, everything, they have these little like finger-like, okay, it looks like these little finger-like things that, like brushes that move things around and push it out. So you have to trust in the process. It's like the spider medicine happening internally. The fire, famine, and flood, it's happening. The pestilence, it's happening. Yeah, inside of you. And you know, the burning up, all of it. The swelling, the flood, the famine, like so affects your appetite. You feel like you're just eating all the time and just sleeping. You're not gaining any weight really. You're just, you know, and I walk a lot, but it's, last couple days it was like 90 degrees. It's been hot, so it's going to be a little bit cooler today, so we're going to get out. I slept in because I didn't go to sleep till like 3:30, and then I woke up and I'm like, oh, it's like 10. I'm like, oh, great. That was nice, good sleep too. I didn't toss and turn, and thank you, Jesus, for some good sleep. Mother, Father, God, Source Creator, my original ignition, the igniter of my spark. Yeah, if you're new to my channel, I don't have the time all the time to say Mother, Father, God, Source Creator, Catcher, Bina, Chokma. Well, I mean, we could just, how many names for God? So, you know, sometimes I'll say he, and a lot of times that is because I'm talking about the male electric light aspect of God, okay? The Chokma. Sometimes I'm talking about the Bina. So, if, you know, I know some people, they like to correct people, and I've watched shitty videos where the sound is so shitty or whatever, and I never give a thumbs down. I've never said the sound was muffled or this and that. Like, put on some earplugs, turn it up all the way. If you still can't hear it, I apologize. My stuff gets attacked, my technology and stuff. It sounds really loud on my phone, and then it's all muffled and quiet on the computer. It's just, you know, it's whatever. They want to say it's going to take, you know, 58 minutes to upload a 50-second video or whatever. It's, so it is what it is. I accept it. Um, some people, they just need to complain about stuff instead of just being helpful, you know? Go make a donation to a channel instead of complaining. You know, go send them a cool little $10 earbud with microphone thing. I have that, but I don't know if it works on this computer. I'm not that tech savvy, so, you know, I try to speak up so everyone can hear. I hope I'm not mumbling, but so we're going to see. We're just going to lay a triangle spread. We're not going to do a, necessarily dividing the masculine and feminine, because it's so balanced within. I'm feeling, yeah, Four of Wands turned kind of to the side right when I said that. The balancing within, the structure within. Okay, so that was important. There's that Seven of Pentacles. Okay, boom, that's the double Gemini card. That's what I'm talking about. Seven of Pentacles. And I just mentioned my Aquarius was in Mercury. I mean, my Mercury is in Aquarius, yeah. There's the sign for Mercury. Double Gemini, Mercury, okay. Super air, boom. But it's Seven of Pentacles, okay? So this can be like growth and patience, and so, you know, that double Gemini, double twins, just hello. Mercury, planet of communication. So maybe a lot of communication is going to be, you're going to see through this communication a lot of growth. Patience is the number one, like a number one, you know, ace VIP virtue, you know. A-lister, that's what I was trying to think of, like a celebrity, like A-lister. Okay, that's in the spiritual world. Patience is A-lister. So this is growth, patience. You know, through growth, you have to be patient, allow the process, and that's what I was talking about with your cells, with the cilia on there, moving everything. You have to trust the process, and that's kind of almost the tree of life. If there was another, boom, 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 or two more or three more. I think two more, maybe three, yeah. I'm learning the tree of life. It's just confirmation of all this stuff I have in my head. I'm like, oh God, all this makes so much sense. Thank you. Just the way it's all mathematically arranged and set out. And so this is understanding, you know, Gemini sees the two sides of everything. So the other aspects of the Seven of Pentacles. So patience is gained from having to go through that dark night of the soul, where you have to learn patience and be smited in that area. Sorry about the glare. I'm trying to, like, the screen's shining back off onto the card. So they see the beauty and the pain. In growth, there's a lot of pain, but there's a lot of beauty too. That was awesome. Thank you, angels. That was straight from the angels. When it comes in like that, I can feel it. So they see the beauty and the pain. Not in the pain, the beauty and the pain. Right? Both sides of the Seven of Pentacles. Devil card on the on the barter on the bottom. Ace of Wands. Okay, I was just talking about, like, okay, that's kind of like smiting. Whenever the Devil card, there's usually some fire in there. It's like in the Wild Unknown Tarot. That goat, its hooves are on fire. It's like, you don't want to be consumed by the fire. You want it to do this to you. Align all your chakras light them all up, clear this whole thing so you're just this column of light. So you're just super in tune with yourself and God. But, you know, you got to walk through this fire, the smiting, you know, the dragon, that's you. That's your darkness, okay? Gemini sees both sides. There's, you know, when you see both sides with the same amount of vision, okay, the lens is open the same amount for both. Because you're seeing your own reflection. So that allows you to see yourself. It's all one, you know, but there's coming into that is accepting both sides, accepting your own darkness, you know, learning how powerful you are to transmute, control your thoughts, and just, this is self-mastery. This Ace of Wands is, that's what I really get from this deck, and I've just been getting that message lately, that, you know, this was right under the Devil card, 8 of Pentacles. That's that work. I'll hold it down here so the glare is like, yeah, the closer it gets to the screen. So the devil, the darkness, they have their job. The work of the devil is, you know, to get you to this. This Knave of Cups keeps coming up. So, and again, on the 8 of Pentacles, we have Venus, Gemini, Libra. Venus rules Libra and Taurus. So, loving what you do, that's what I'm getting. Love, because that's Venus and 8 of Pentacles, and that's the first time I got that from this card. It's to love what you do, and it starts with the mind, because here's Libra and Gemini. It's like, it starts with the thought. How you think about the work that you do will decide whether you love it or not. You know, are you stressed out? Do you get panic attacks before you go to work every day? You gotta love it in the mind first, you know. And of course, that's Capricorn. That reduces to a 6, the Devil card. So we have a 6, 7, and 8. Okay? And the Knave of Cups. So, and that's how we become that clear vessel for God, that clear column of light, okay? By understanding the darkness, okay? The Binah, the womb, the darkness, what's in there? We don't know. We got to go investigate. It's dark, right? Got to shine the light in there. So then the light and the darkness, okay, it all becomes one. Binah, Chokmah. The yin, the yang, the Star of David, it's so many symbols. It's just the balance of masculine and feminine energy. Everything is energy. It's not good or bad. It's the light and the dark. It's like the Ace of Wands, right, and the Devil card. But if you look at a yin-yang, a yin-yang, okay, it's the light is anchored in the darkness, and the darkness is anchored in the light. You have to have duality for it to come down from Keter to even start the whole manifestation process. So it has to be, to begin to initiate that whole sequence, it has to be in a dual nature of light and dark. But see, in the Bible and all this stuff, we call evening, Eve, and you know, all this sin, darkness, it's bad. So we're clearing all that suppression, oppression of the divine feminine. You know, this is like that fire serpent rising. See the fire? It's a dragon. That's like from the Isis deck, and we're gonna pull from that. So this might end up being a kind of a lengthy because there was a lot coming in, but I couldn't get a reading out yesterday. It was just, yeah. I figured out some stuff with the Gemini energy. Right when I said that, top card's Ace of Swords. So I was looking at the dark side, for sure, because I have a doctor's appointment coming up, and, that's why I don't like to do Morgellon's videos a lot, because if you don't want to think about it, you start going to the dark side and thinking about how evil it is and all the, I'm going to post the link in this video. I'm going to post the link to that video in every video that I do, from Phoenix Rising. It's the first video she did. I think she has like 7 videos on her channel total. She's an ex-nurse or RN or retired, or she may still be currently working, I'm not sure. She had Morgellon. She did all this research. It's about an hour and a half long, okay? And it's important for everyone to see, whether you believe in chemtrails or not, or Morgellons or not. Just, I can tell you that this stuff's real. And so I was thinking about the dark side a lot. And I mean, she lays it, and I know because I have a microscope, a trinocular microscope with a digital camera. That, I've posted pictures, videos of those things actually moving. But I'm going to take some still shots and do a little like photo album, store it on thumb drive, have it on my computer. Couple other places. Facebook is one place that I use for a free archive, just in case. And, maybe email them to some people and stuff. So these little metal, very super shiny hexagon shaped pieces of metal, okay, are 3 layers. And this woman, the video that I just described, the link will be in the description box below. It's very important that we are aware of what's happening. Okay. So it's 2 pieces of metal, titanium, okay, it's like 2 bookends, okay, it's a 3-layer thing. So 2 layers of titanium, these little perfectly shaped little hexagons, and I've looked at them under the microscope. You see them in your lint dryer, little thing that you pull out for your dryer has lint in there. You'll see them in there, you'll track them inside, you'll see them outside, okay, so. And then you look at them under a microscope, and indeed, this is exactly what they look like. And many people who have microscopes can examine this stuff very closely. And so this is what's happening. 2 titanium layers. In the center, there's a biofilm. It's all hexagonal, 6 sides, okay, hexagon. There's a biofilm layer in the center. It's like a sandwich cookie, okay? But it just looks like a little super shiny piece of glitter, okay? But super shiny. Super, 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 very, okay, like the sun. Very, very highly, highly reflective. And the layer of biofilm is embedded with these little Morgellons, okay? And then it has, to keep that all, and it's like nanotechnology, so it like eats through the biofilm, the metal, all that, okay? And just like puffs up, and it just looks like lint. It just looks like bluish kind of lint, some red in there, but most of what I found is like blue. And so you just start thinking about how evil, weird, and creepy, so people say, oh, it's a fungus, it's a mold, it's a this, it's a that. No, I have examined this stuff under a very good microscope with very good camera. I know what it is, I know what it looks like, I can identify it, without even using the microscope now. I see those little metal things, I know what they are. The fuzz that gets all around your bed doesn't really get around anywhere else, just where you're sleeping, you're having a lot of die off, that sandy stuff coming out of your skin, and blue fuzzy stuff, and you don't have any blue sheets, blankets, nothing. Okay, so this stuff is very evil, okay? Now, this is the darkness within, and there's darkness outside in the world, okay? And when we can face our own darkness, then we can wake up to what's really going on and really be strong and face the world. So that's why I had to get really super sick to wake up to what was going on, because it's so Capricorn, so hard-headed, and you know, just I was gonna say that's so funny. I was gonna I was gonna say just very kind of like Gemini, just clear cut thought, very grounded, just kind of seems cold kind of or whatever, but they're just very clear. Okay, they're thinking. They're very good at mastering their thoughts. That's the way they can stay so grounded, is, you know, keeping their thoughts. Capricorns know they keep their thoughts grounded and not get stuck in the darkness. Use it for what it's there for, to make you stronger, to figure stuff out, and see the world for how it is. The awareness is very important. Okay. And then look at this Ace of Swords. All there is Capricorn on here. This is the sign for Saturn, double Capricorn. Okay, so I was just saying how I was just gonna say that right when I was looking at that card, and I'm like, whoa, it's all over the Ace of Swords. That just is right what I was gonna say. Okay, and yeah, this is very Aries. The Ace of Wands right here, double Aries, and then Mars, which rules Aries. So, and I was just saying my twin's Mars is in Aries, so, I mean, hello, that's the twin flames, Ace of Wands. Whenever I see that, there's that offer of love. And this is Pisces, and his moon's in Pisces. That Pisces moon, the moon just came out of Pisces, went into Taurus. Now I don't know what sign it's in now, but probably Aries. That moon energy's been feeling better, but this Gemini energy, yeah, it's very it does go very well with the Capricorn, because the Saturn, that forces you to see the darkness, you know, your inner, your own darkness, because it leads to you not being judgmental. I mean, you got to go through your own darkness so that, you know, you don't judge the darkness in others. So let's keep shuffling a little bit here and see. So if we judge the darkness, that means there's fear there, because judgment is basically a fear-based. We don't need to judge anything. Let's just gain a greater and greater and deeper understanding, higher and higher levels of understanding and awareness. We don't have to judge it. So once we judge it, we block ourselves with fear, and then you oppose something. You're focused on something outside of yourself, then you're not going to be mastering yourself. So I believe this is the Neptune, yeah, because Uranus looks like Neptune but has a circle. So this is Neptune, which rules Pisces, and this is double Pisces. It's like my twin's coming in here a lot too. Just very twin energy, and Gemini. I mean, it's super twin town. Okay, up in here. Very twin energy for this Gemini new moon. So that's double Pisces. Neptune rules Pisces. That's Neptune. Pisces. Double. So what's at the bottom? Not the 7. I'm sorry, I was looking at the next card. Okay, so I guess they want me to talk about that then. So 7 of Cups just flew out. Then on the bottom was the King of Cups, and this is the sign for Cancer on here. My moon's in Cancer. Okay, here's the King of Cups. That was at the bottom of the deck when the 7 of Cups flew out. The next card was the 7 of Swords. Mercury's on here, and double Virgo, which is what my twin is. His sun sign, his zodiac sign is Virgo. So, and I always look at the King of Cups as a Cancer too, so that's interesting that they have that on there for the King of Cups, the sign for Cancer. So, let's see. It's like you have to be able to manipulate your own mind in order to manipulate your own choices. And when you're doing it internally, you're just mastering your own energies. Manipulate. Manual stipulation. I don't know. It's just, there's some, it's not a negative. It doesn't have to be a negative thing. It's self-mastery. You master the thoughts instead of using it for manipulation and, getting what you want. See, Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini, and those both are very related to twin flames. Okay, so there's Mercury on here in double Virgo, so this is again very Gemini and twin flame, and Gemini is the twins, very twin energy. This can be, the art of manipulation, a crafty mind, Seven of Swords. But I see the King of Cups and the Seven of Cups, so maybe mastering the thought is what's helping the masculine to master his emotions and choose the right thing with the Seven of Cups. Yeah, because what does he want? He wants his Queen of Wands. That's the top card. And that's the Divine Feminine, the Queen of Wands. Because he sees her as so passionate, it's like he's in his heart space and sees his Divine Feminine. He, she, whatever, fill in the blank. Don't judge a pronoun, please. I'm just trying to get the messages out of, apply it to how, energies. It's just we're all trapped in this matrix of language and, okay, so let's not get stuck in semantics and make it even more viscous. Let's be, in the now, where everything is allowed, where everything is present. And this Gemini energy too is like boom boom right in the now, because it's air. It's like instant. It's like karma. There's no karma. It's just instant. And this is what I've been getting. A lot of people have. It's just like there's not going to be any more karma when we exist in the now. See, karma takes time. It's past. It takes time to build. Karma. There's not going to be any more like process of karma. It's just going to be like negative stuff tries to rise up against you. It's going to be instantly like, because the shot down, because the now won't support anything that has any karmic attachment. So when we're all living in the current now, right now, there is no referring to, to relying on a past now or a future now to dictate your current now. You just have to be in the current now. That's part of being in the current now. You're just like right here in the now. Okay, so being part of that, one of the biggest parts of that is not, it's like, for example, like we're sitting around at a dinner somewhere, but we're talking about a dinner we had somewhere else at another time with other people. Okay, that's not being present in the now. So energetically doing that and everything, a good result of that, one of the many benefits of that is that there's instant, like, there's no karma. Things are always constantly happening in the now, so there can't be any judgment, anything with any karmic attachment. Okay, fear, judgment, it's just all heart-centered, unconditional love, truth of God in the now, complete pure channel of light. Okay, this is the white light, or I always say white light, but the brotherhood of white light, brother and sisterhood of all the white light of the unified rainbow. Okay, And so the Queen of Wands is over here with the Ace of Wands, twin flame union, energetic, okay, union, and the Knave of Cups. This is an offer of love. It's a person. That's a court card. So that's someone offering you tangible love, harmonious love, not demonic love, harmonic love. Harmonious, not demonious. Demonia, okay, so, harmonious. The harp. Being in the heart, right? So, and I'm not talking about chemtrail harp and everything. Yeah, we were looking at both sides of that issue, very Gemini, and we don't like going too far into. We just recognize that darkness is there. You don't have to start getting emotional about it. Come out of it. You're gonna get upset, cry, get sick to your stomach, and yeah, it'll start making you feel anxious. And that's why we master our thoughts, because we go into the darkness. We want to remember we dive down there. Don't get stuck and trapped down there and start living down there. You dive down there to shine the light, okay, your flame, and you see the darkness, you figure it the fuck out, and you get the fuck out of there. And you go enjoy your life. You use the darkness for what the abyss is, so you can go, there's information all stored in there. You go down in there and you figure it the fuck out. Then you come back out. Don't forget where you came from, so you can remember to come back out of it, because that can lead to depression. Depression leads to addictions and all kinds of, okay, so the thought is very important, to not go down into the depths of the abyss and then not come back up. Use it for what it's there for, okay? Don't get lost. Remember where you came from. Don't forget your name, and right? What's your address? Like when you're little, what's your mom's name? What's your okay? Just in case you get lost, you need to remember who you are and where you came from, so you can come back up, because the point of all that is to come back up and enjoy your life. King of Cups, Queen of Wands. Fucking sorry, but that Seven of Pentacles, and I'm like, whoa, double Gemini, and there's Mercury. It's just like, okay, there's like twin flame energy all over these flipping cards. So, yeah, another 7 right after that. We have all the 7s out here now. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Super God energy. Hello, Capricorn, all over the Ace of Swords, because that's God teaching you, Saturn, through Saturn, the angels and energies of Saturn is like, that clear thinking. Okay, the Ace of Wands, that clear rod of white light. That's a clear channel for communicating with yourself, your whole system, okay? Your whole body. You're in communication with your body, with God. Geez, all these 7s. This is awesome. Okay, so this is speaking your opinion, speaking your mind. So this is speaking the truth of God. So you need to speak your truth. And if you're Orifeme, whatever you want to call it, Heirloom, there's 5 different, however many words. Thrones, Heirloom, there's another one that sounds like Heirloom, but Heirloom or something or whatever. Ophanum, however you want to say it. I say Orifeme. Emerald Order, Orifeme. So if you're a speaker or a writer, you're probably a combination of both. If you are a writer, you're probably you have the craft of the word, okay? So this is the 7 of Wands, and the angelic that you probably are, if you're very much a speaker and writer type, you're probably Orifeme. And there's all kinds of angels, Orifeme, Seraphim, Cherubim. We won't get off into all that, but yeah, I have my different concepts of what the different angels do. The Seraphim are more of the purifying, making sure that intentions are coming from a pure, because they work with the violet flame, so they're Seraphim, they're the fire. So before anything is spoken from the Orifeme, it has to be of the purest intention. So the Seraphim help with that, the purification, the smiting, the fire, the violet flame. And so they make sure intentions are pure before anything manifests. It comes from a pure place of pure intention. and then it gets spoken. Okay, the manifesting, the speaking, and I don't know, you could probably have many different angels in your bloodlines, or I'm not sure, how it all works, but I just know what I resonate with and what has come to me, and then I go and confirm it by doing research. And because seraphim, and just when you break down the words etymologically, if you look them up, under etymology, they break it down, and it helps you to understand words at their core meaning, and not how it's been dissolved and manipulated and bastardized over time and just associated with certain cultural whatever. You want the core of the essence of the true word, because really what it gets back all the way back to is like the sacred sounds. Okay, so sacred sounds is what I just got from the Seven of Wands. So speaking truth is like, it's so hard to do that because the languages have been so messed up and separated and all this stuff, just they sound so different when they're coming straight from God. Just really basic fundamental sacred tones. So we can't let it confuse us, though. We just have to understand how it got to be that way and why there's so many different languages and so on and so forth. So we don't need to judge it, the darkness. It's not there to form a judgment. It's there for greater understanding, more awareness. Awareness is very important, and Gemini is a very aware energy, okay, because they see the black and the white, both sides cut and dry. They see, so that brings such a great amount of awareness. Like that Ace of Wands, taking that into the darkness, that Capricorn, Saturn, Capricorn, learning the lesson, the endless abyss of the self, right? You can never stop learning about yourself and nature, and I mean, it's a constant learning process. And as you learn different things, there might be some things you need to heal that come up, and it's constant process, just like the body. We just have to trust in the process, just like what the body does. It cleans out the kidneys, clean out and everything is doing everything it's supposed to be doing. We need to do what we're supposed to do, which is to have pure thought, speak from that. That reminds me of the cards. I'll share the angel cards. So the Seven of Wands, this is like benediction, and this is very interesting. I have Sag rising and no, this is Jupiter. I'm sorry. I was gonna say my Venus is in Sagittarius, and then another one I can't remember, and then my rising is Sagittarius. So, but this is Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius, and this is a double Sag card. So the two arrows there, that's the Sagittarius, that's Jupiter. So there's Leo on the Queen of Wands. I think that's the only other one I didn't mention yet. Yeah, okay. So Leo and Sag showed up. Aries, lots of fire. Good twin flame energy. So that Seven of Wands reminded me of the cards that when I did the last angel card reading I did for myself, but I didn't share it on my channel. But 3 flipped out, and I was shuffling, and I believe this was the one that was facing up. Okay, and patience has been coming to me a lot lately, okay? Patience is so key to understanding things and becoming aware. We need to slow down so we can stop and look around. Okay, so what's going to initiate that? Some patience, okay? We can't slow down because we don't have the patience to slow down. So, but if we're relying on God to time everything out perfectly, patience is a virtue that's gained. This is, you're You're not gaining anything tangible yet. The stuff you're gaining from the Seven of Pentacles, it's not like the Nine or Ten of Pentacles. You haven't gained anything tangibly yet. You're still watching things ripen. So as you're ripening yourself, okay, you know, physical transformations are going on within you, just like the crop as it's growing, you're ripening. You have to be patient. You can't pluck anything yet. So this is a virtue that's gained from the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, and there was Michael, bam, with patience. Just a little patience. I can't sing. Okay, so, yeah, my throat's been dry. It was hot last couple days. I had a little bit of a hoarse throat. So Michael with patience, okay? And look at the pyramid and the violet. Okay, just straight from God. That's what I'm saying. Just there's no blockages and all that stuff getting in the way, and if there is, you go in there and zap it. Being in the now, there's no karma, so dissolve, bind, dissolve, and vanquish, the spider medicine. And that's what a spider does. They something flies into their nest, they bind it all up, wrap it all up, bind it, okay, and then they extract the blood or whatever, so they get the nutrients or pull whatever out of it they can, okay, so they transmute it into something they can use, right? And then vanquish it. It just turns into dust and falls out of the web. Okay, so binding, dissolving, and vanquishing. And it's magical. And people want to call it witchcraft. That's what your body is doing that on a constant basis. When it fights infection, everything, it surrounds it, white blood cells, enzymes, whatever, it surrounds this thing. So it binds it, right? It's bound in a circle around this thing, in all a sphere, okay? It's bound. Then it dissolves it with the white blood cells or whatever it's using to dissolve its power, right? To relinquish it of its power. And then it vanquishes it, meaning expresses it out of the body, pushes it out. The skin cells open up, the cilia push all this stuff out, so you feel like sand's pouring out of your body if you have Morgellons, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you're just trusting in the process. This magic, witchcraft, whatever you want to call it, it's happening inside your body. So are you going to judge that? I mean, fighting off the darkness, it's a dirty job. You gotta learn some skills. That's what Saturn's here to teach you in Capricorn, and you know, that's what that planet's all about. It's like really appreciating the light because you've discovered what's in the darkness. And twin flame, it's like, you know, but the thing that comes from it is like just the patience with yourself will help you to speak like this. And I need to, you know, not say the S word and the F word and the A word and the B word and the because that's benediction, because that's how we manifest, you know. And it starts with a thought, okay? It gets expressed through the word, the written word too. Might hear my son jumping around in the hallway, probably climbed over the baby gate, and yeah, he's my little monkey, so he might come in here. And if he does, then we'll just have some fun. So benediction. So that's speaking this light that's coming straight from the cosmos, straight from the ancestors, from God, all the benediction, that team of benevolence, okay? That's that light code, God code, pure energy, pure intention, pure truth, which is love, okay? So that's what we have to speak. That's the truth we have to speak. That Seven of Wands. You know, things that are of the highest virtue. So when we're patient, we have more benediction. When we have a lot of emotion attached to our thoughts, we're going to speak in a way it's not going to be as clear. When our thoughts are clear, then what we speak is clear, and that's power. This is a powerful manifestation tool. That's why self-affirmations are so important. They carry a vibration. It triggers your body into healing itself. All the, this is not made up hooey. So this is science. I mean, it's measurable, these vibrational energies. This is what's happening where everything is integrating. Science and God, light and dark. It's all because everything's being brought to light. It's the amount of awareness. And it's coming from higher virtues like patience, because we're being forced to gain these, because it's gonna help us to, when Raziel shows up, I start having a lot of dreams, intuition, downloads, and they don't, Raziel doesn't always show up, so these cards are, they don't come out just, whoever, whoever needs to come out and present themselves, they do. So Gabriel has been coming through a lot lately, and Michael, I got that strength card in the mini harmonious deck that I have. Very much a Michael energy from that deck in particular, okay? Because of the depiction. The colors, everything. The sword, the shield, just everything. That strength card, okay, is Archangel Michael in the mini harmonious deck from Lo Scarabeo, I think is what it's called. Lo Scarabeo? I know it's Scarabeo, like the scarab beetle, okay, and I believe it's Lo, but Lo Scarabeo, mini harmonious deck. It's a magical deck, and so is this deck, the Angels of Atlantis. So when we do this, see how all these chakras are lit up and aligned? See, all this intuition and these downloads and everything, when you're a clear channel of God, okay, it comes from learning all these hard lessons too, that we gain all these higher virtues from patience, that Seven of Pentacles, okay? Then, we have to speak what we've learned and put it into action through our thoughts first, and then what we speak. So that Seven of Swords, Seven of Wands, all the sevens are here too. So this is very high message from God. And so then all your natural gifts of intuition, telepathy, all these things come flooding in because you're in direct communication with God. Your channel is not blocked. You don't have any blockages. If anything comes up, you don't have the fear to like stuff it away. You deal with it. Bam, bam, bam. In the now, in the now, in the now. And when you're constantly in the now, you're constantly in communication directly with Source. So your intuition's always on. Your dreams, visions, just synchronicities. You see and understand what the synchronicities are trying to tell you. You're getting it. But, this process this is like having to be patient with yourself, and the process of watching yourself grow. You're like, I don't see the tangible results of my growth. Well, you won't, because they're not tangible. They're the highest dimension, like patience. They're intangible. So these are like the biggest. You can't get any. You're not going to appreciate the payoff and the harvest if you don't gain the very valuable lessons of patience and surrendering to divine timing. That's what a big part of patience is. And then once we gain those higher virtues, then, it's self-mastery, mastering our thoughts, mastering our emotions. Okay, Seven of Cups, mastering your emotions. Seven of Swords, mastering your thoughts. Seven of Wands, mastering your words and your actions, because your words are actions. Comes directly from the thought, okay? And the feelings are affected by the thought. So everything, we need... It all starts with pure thought, which is the pure intention. That's what intentions are. They're thoughts, okay? And that's all we were before we existed and came down into Malkuth and the kingdom and formed in these big, flesh bags, whatever we call meat sacks, right? We're just a bunch of freaking 50, God, those huge bag of potatoes, right? Just, everything's so heavy. Okay, so this is how it's going to be lighter, by learning these tougher lessons in the beginning, because there's not much we can do when we're watching stuff ripen. What, are you just going to sit there and do nothing with ourselves? We're going to grow impatient, and then we won't be able to stay in that energy. That's not sustainable. So we're going to have to master patience, master impatience by becoming patient, okay? then, you know, certain people have a duty to speak that journey, speak that truth. I mean, we all do, okay? But some especially, that's what they've been chosen to do. And this is the gift that's given when you master these higher virtues, like patience, one of the most important ones, patience. Because when we just have patience and slow down, we can gain a greater understanding of ourselves, or what we're saying, what we're doing, how we're thinking, how we're feeling. But we need to slow down so we can stop and look around. That just keeps coming to me. So we need to, you know, slow down so we can stop, look around, and, you know, gain these higher virtues so that we aren't judgmental, so that when things come up, you know, we've mastered our thoughts, our emotions, our actions, our words. Benediction is being impeccable with your word. Okay, that's one of the 4 agreements. Being impeccable with your word. Don't make assumptions. That's a judgment, okay? Always do your best, or whatever it is. And, you know, I don't know. I forget what the 4 agreements are. But, you know, it's like, yeah, that was just confirmation of like, yeah, being impeccable with your word is the one that really stands out. And that's benediction. That's good diction, speaking well, good diction. So we don't have fear and all that stuff. So we're only speaking of things that are good, because this is what we're learning. From the darkness, we have to learn the light. We're not just going into the darkness so we can say, oh, look how scary it is, I'm purging, I'm this, I'm that. No, that's not the point of the darkness. And Gemini energy, it knows that. Because Gemini energy is an essence, okay? So just, and people born under that sign, they just have more of that essence. It's like spices and seasonings, okay? The energies, right? It's just a little bit of, it's alchemy. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Some people are a little more this way, some people a little bit more that way with their energetic spice rack. So I wanted to see if there was another angel card that wanted to join up with that message. And then I think maybe we'll pull an Isis oracle, and I'll do a separate shamanic reading. So let's see if there's an angel that would like to, or the same angel that wants to really emphasize another message. So Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Hanael, and Raziel, I would say a lot, because that's the intuition, that's the dreams, vision. So I worked a lot with that angel as well. Of course, Archangel Shamael or Shamuel. Oh, okay, so I had a feeling Michael was going to come back up. And Sandalphon, I was thinking of him yesterday because Elijah is also another version of John and Zoshim, and, you know, my son and my name and my twin's name, all are basically versions of the same name. But Elijah, so that's Sandalphon on the bottom, and evolution, okay? This is the evolution of the solar body. We're becoming this, just rod of light. All chakras cleared and united, all the white light of the unified rainbow. When you unify, that's your rainbow body, you unify all the colors, it's white light. And that's, the Egyptians knew all about that, right? About the gold, and okay, so very much high vibrational again with that purple. That's Michael, the unicorn, the magic, enchantment. New Mexico's the land of enchantment. I used to live out there with my dad. And so this is like believing in magic. Maybe not getting too lost in the fantasy either. But see, it's like when we gain these higher virtues, life seems very enchanting because what happens is you start realizing you're manifesting power through just words and thoughts, and you're like, whoa, it seems like magic, right? And like all these gifts start coming in and flooding back in, and you start remembering your past lives, Atlantis stuff. I mean, that's why I got this deck, because these dreams of Atlantis, I never, it's just, aliens, yeah, right. Watching Star Trek, yeah, right. My mom was a Trekkie. That stuff was so annoying. I couldn't stand. Like, I want to read. I'm Capricorn. Give me a recipe book. I can change a toilet. I can do lots of stuff. I don't want to read something fantasy. I want to watch. I would watch Martha Stewart, or like teach me how to do something. Like, I don't care about fantasy land. So I like, yeah, spirits, the aliens, yeah, whatever. I was agnostic, lost touch with God, all that for just. Very Capricorn, okay? Very Capricorn. Just not a doubter, just like, well, whatever. There's who knows what to believe, That's basically it. There's so much out there, right? It's so confusing, all the different religions, different belief systems. There's so much, right? That's why we do all this spiritual work, so we can just listen to our heart. Because our heart tells us the truth. When we're in our heart space, we're an open channel for God. We can be in the now. When you're in the now, you're directly connected to God all the time. That's being in your heart space. That's that unconditional love, and that's where we have to remain. So, life opens up and becomes magical. Oh, I put them over here. And it's through self-mastery. It's an internal process, and then you reflect that out in the world, because everything's an internal projection, reflection, projection. And letting God work through us so we can gain those higher virtues, so that the world, just our universe, nature, our past lives, everything opens up to us, and everything is revealed to us, and it seems magical, right? The manifestation power that you have, the dreams, visions, intuition, synchronicity, all the things that come back. You see your world come alive with enchantment and magic, because now you're understanding, you're seeing things clearly, because you stopped, slowed down and stopped and looked around. That's patience. Observe and become aware. And when you do that, when you become aware, you see the magic in nature, inside your body. It's magical, right? What your cells are doing and everything, all on its own. It's all programmed by God to do. It's amazing and magical when you think about science or spirituality, any aspect of God. It's freaking amazing. All the hard stuff we have to go through, but how that tempers us and smites us and makes us so strong and durable and able to handle things that come up. And it's like, if we don't do that, then we can fall into depression. People kill themselves, kill other people, because they're so taken over by anger. So mastering your thoughts and your emotions is very, very important. This is what we're doing down here. And patience is so key to that. Okay, so let's just pull one Isis Oracle. Alana Fairchild. So those are the two we got last time. Okay, so we're right on top there. So let me put those in the deck here. So the Divine Mother, I think Saturn kind of has a feminine energy, because it's very like the wisdom of Binah, the darkness. What you find there helps you to grow, become more patient. You learn about yourself, not to judge yourself, be patient with yourself. You can do all those things for yourself, then you can do that for others. So I get, I know they call it like Father Time and Thoth and but I feel like there's a very feminine aspect to Saturn, because of the goat and the goddess Inara of the steppe animals, goddess of the steppe, guardian of the steppe and steppe animals, STEPPE, like the regional climatic, what is that a word? Climatic zone. Like rainforest or desert, this, that, it's called the steppe. So it's like the more mountainous animals. Okay, so that includes goat. And she's also the goddess of children and childbirth. And that came from, if my son was going to be born a girl, because I didn't know the sex, and so Ina, that's the last 3 letters of my late sister's name. Her name was Christina. So Ina, and then Ra kept coming to me, and I was like, oh, Ina Ra. But then it morphed into Inara, and I'm like, oh, cool. And I knew, just because how things come to me, I'm like, okay, there's got to be something there, because things don't just happen so I always look up everything. So Inara is the goddess that I just explained. And because it's steppe animals, the goat is included in the steppe. Okay, there's very feminine Inara, very feminine aspect to Saturn. Because Capricorn is the sea goat, so the sea goat, the sea, okay, the feminine aspect of Saturn. Okay, that is Binah. You think of the goat, okay, but the sea, it has like the tail of a fish, like a mermaid tail, whatever. So it's sea, the water, the feminine, okay, the emotion. So let's see what card wants to visit. All the white light of the unified rainbow. The God grain flow. The only flow I know. He being God. Here we go. Here we grow. Here we glow. Now, I mean, these readings might seem boring for people, but this is what we need to do. This is the work we need to do. If you don't want to do it, you're not ready, then this isn't the channel for you. This is for people who understand this is about self-mastery and what we need to do. And patience is, a lot of people who are religious, they say these things and stuff, but they don't even really understand what it takes to be. Joyce Myers, man, I'll tell you what, that woman, she's had to be so forgiving and patient, and I mean, you couldn't tell by looking at her. In the sermon I just watched, that's what she was saying. She was also saying about being honest. You have to be honest, if you can't be honest with yourself and face your pain, and you got to be honest. Honesty, and it comes with being honest with yourself. Everything starts from the self. But she was saying you can't tell by looking at her all the things that she's been through, Oh, shoot. That's too many. But, I had a feeling. I'm like, that card's going to be on the bottom, though. So this is what I'm talking about, the feminine aspect of Saturn, of like, what have you learned? But it's like mommy asking you this time. What have you learned about unconditional love? What have you learned about benediction? Speaking the good words that plant golden seeds of encouragement, not discouragement. What have you learned about what gifts God has given you, and about how to communicate with your star family? And this is the feminine aspect of Saturn asking you, what virtues have you gained? Are you patient? The magical aspect, the whimsy, the magic, the childlike. Okay, unicorns, these are the feminine aspect of these lessons. The task master. Okay, so that big chunk flew out, but like that was on the bottom. Hello. So that's just, let's pull another card, because we already know that energy is right here and present. Are there any other ones that want to? That's pretty much the main one. But now I was just getting that. Because we do have the fire, or the Queen of Fire, the Queen of Wands right there with the Ace of Wands. So then there's fire in the Devil card. It's like, okay, so this, the fiery aspect of the feminine's asking you, what have you learned about mastering yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your letting your words and actions express how well you've mastered your thoughts and emotions. Are you maintaining the nowness, being in the now in your heart space? Are you maintaining that in every moment? Okay. Stay true and be in your power. Are you being in the nowness in every moment? Stay true and be in your power, because that's where truth is, and that's where you're fully empowered, is in the now. Boom. Osiris and Isis, Lord and Lady of divine authority. Yeah, bitches. Yes, they are. Yes, we are twin flames. Isis and Osiris. Right? The Lord and Lady of divine authority. The Devil card is divine authority, but there's the Lord and the Lady. Okay? And that's just a taskmaster. There's dark angels that work for God. We want to judge them, but they, at least they know who's in charge. The certain fallen ones, the rebellious ones, they still know who's in charge. Who, if they were cast out of heaven, do they not know who's in charge? They know who's in charge. We want to judge the dark angels, but it's like they know that God's in charge more than we do. They're more obedient to God than we are. So it's like Saturn, okay, Azrael, you know, the angel of death. You know, so death and devil go, because the death card, this is the devil card, facing our darkness. What have we learned? How have we self-mastered? And death is a big part of that, you know. This is dying the flesh, the death card, because the flesh is very entangled with the devil, you know, the addiction, sex, all this stuff. Okay, so, you know, but everything has to be sacred. You know, the things that we do to feel good have to be sacred. The sex that we have has to be sacred. The thoughts that we think have to be sacred. The feelings we feel have to be sacred. The words that we speak have to be sacred. The actions that we take have to be sacred. Because the divine Lord and Lady, they have set the example. We have plenty of examples to go from. Mary Magdalene and Jesus, whoever, however, there's people probably, you know, in your life right now who are twin flames, who are just perfect, just examples of love. That's just, right? But you got to do the work. But it starts with just slowing down, okay? Look around, be grateful, don't be afraid of the darkness if it your shit comes up, right? Don't get too far down into crying and all that stuff, because like I said, that can spiral down, depression, all that. So a lot of times if I feel well, I know I'm clairsentient, so a lot of times I gotta check in with myself, make sure that's not I don't need to like be bawling that over what? I've been through so much, I've healed it. It's, you know, you gotta let it grow you. Seven of Pentacles, you gotta let it grow you. Intuition and all these great things, these higher virtues. This is the higher learning. Okay, we're coming out of the purging and clearing and all this stuff all the time. These things being in the now, boom. We're going to be true to being in our heart space. Again, more gold and green. When you're true, you're in love, in your heart space, unconditional love. You're in your power. You're perfectly balanced. You're accessing all these higher virtues. You're channeling God. Okay. The self-mastery is to maintain the now and be in the heart space where there's only truth, love, the light of God. But we need to be aware of the darkness out in the world and inside us. But all we can do is master the self. And it kind of is like when you're awakening and you're going through your own darkness, you start awakening to the world and how much darkness is out there, all this chemtrail shit and everything. You start waking up to all that stuff, but it starts with the self. That's how my process went. And sometimes when you're hard-headed like Capricorn, you're right. Uh, you're hard-headed. You need to be pounded over the head. You need to be whacked in the head. You need to be bombarded and almost die. So, but God has a plan for everyone, and depending on your energies of how you're gonna work, that's gonna dictate how you work through things. And it's in your chart, and it's all ordained by the stars. It's all written in the stars already. Your whole story, it's ordained by God. And Goddess of 10,000 names is on the bottom. Isis. Endless emanations of the priestess. So Isis is just like endless emanations of the priestess, goddess of 10,000 names. And high priestess is the next bottom card. So the priestess energy, okay, the feminine aspect of Saturn, that Capricorn, the sea goat, the sea aspect of the goat, okay? What have you learned from the Divine Mother? Because manifesting and all that stuff, the Father, okay, the light, the thought, okay, but the Divine Mother has lessons she wants you to learn about unconditional love, speaking the words that plant the golden seeds of encouragement, the benediction, the magic, okay, these higher virtues of patience, intuition, the magic, okay? This is the Divine Mother aspect of the Capricorn, the sea goat, Saturn, okay, the taskmaster. There's feminine and masculine and everything, so that's what I got from that card, and this is definitely Divine Mother coming through again, but we have, definitely Divine Father too, and which is Gemini energy. Okay, there's very fiery, very practical, clear air thought, Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords, and all 7. So it's very balanced, feminine and masculine, divine masculine, divine feminine energies coming through in this reading. So, okay, and this was the top card. And there you go. That is the mastery that I keep talking about. See the gold and the violet, those are those high vibrations, that golden consciousness. You're constantly flowing, crown chakra, communication with God, clear vessel. This is mastering your energies, your thoughts, your emotions, your words, your everything. Everything, you have everything right here. Your intuition is fully activated. This is your Merkaba. This is your chariot. And it says chariot of ascension. Okay, spiritual work of the higher initiate. So that's what I'm saying. It's time. We're not like little knaves anymore. We're higher initiates. It's time for higher learning now. No more clearing, purging, working through judgment. Oh, that's all the lower shit. We're already done there. And if you're not, then this probably isn't the channel for you, because this is just resonating for the people where I'm at, or, if you're ready to aspire to that. But if you're not ready, you're not ready for this channel. And I'm not saying that from any, this is just where I'm at, and other people are at this level. This is where we need to be right now. This is full mastery over your mind, body, and spirit, the Trinity within indeed, the masculine and feminine. You're just right in alignment with God Source Creator, the highest energy, the violet. Okay? You don't have to pray for shielding. You don't have to do protection prayers. You have to stay in your heart space, which is gratitude, unconditional love. Gratitude is key. Patience. Okay, all those higher virtues. When we stay in our heart space, we're in the now. We're in those higher virtues. There's just communication with God. There doesn't even need to be any shielding, protecting prayers. You're just constantly communicating with God like it's your best friend walking right next to you. Your twin brother or sister, you know, just like the perfect reflection of you. You're a perfect reflection of God. God light shining on you all the time. Not God's light, God light. Because God just is what it is. It doesn't have anything. It doesn't have its light. It is its light. I am that I am. So we need to get out of the I can't presence. I don't have enough time. I can't do this. I don't have enough money. So we need to start declaring those affirmations. Okay, that's what's going to keep us here. We need to plant those golden seeds within as well. And affirmations are very important for, you know, staying healed and not letting these energetic infections, you know, bring us back down. We want to maintain this. That's how we ascend. It's happening within. The fire, the famine, the flood, the smiting. It's all happening within. It's an inner journey. So, Divine Mother and Divine Father really coming through here. And, you know, it's time to look at things as black and white, and what have we learned from the masculine and the feminine healing within ourselves? These different energies that we've had to work through and heal. What have we learned? What have we gained? It can't be all without any gain. So it's this magic, this patience, the higher virtues, the self-mastery, the manifestation power of that, the enchantment and magic and dreams and intuition and downloads and all the magic and mystery of that. It's all of it. Okay, no more inner child healing and all this shit. I mean, how long do we got to stay in that kind of stuff? No, we're done with that unless you're just getting to that, okay, and you're on a different level. But you can't stay there, okay? Like one solar cycle, 1 year, you better have made a lot of growth and a lot of progress because, I mean, that's why we have a birthday, so we can look back at the year before and say, you know, how have I changed? What have I, you know, how have I learned, you know, in what areas of my life have I grown? That's why people make New Year's resolutions and all that stuff, but it's like, your birthday is your annual solar cycle, and that's for you to look back on your growth. What have you learned and gained? Patience. Tapping back into your intuition. Okay, Mother, Father, Divine Mother, Father, Lord and Lady, Isis and Osiris. They're both here to ask you, the masculine and the feminine, because this is how we're balanced. This is how we ascend. Oops, this is how we master our energies. This is like being godlike. You know, it's not a God complex. You become self-empowered. You realize how powerful you are to co-create with God and all the tools and all the tools gained from the self-mastery that now are available to you to co-create with God, and it's magical. So, you're just coming into the awareness of that. Okay? It's very empowering. Then you don't need to go backsliding into ego all the time. Because this is the place you want to be. It's that's enchantment, man. That's where the magic, fun, the mystery, that's Gemini all the time wants to be there. But not afraid to go here. Because the darkness, you know, helps us appreciate the light that much more. Because that's where we come from. We got to remember, we come from a place of wholeness, purity, perfection, okay? So that's what this whole lesson down here on Earth in the Malkuth, it's mastering that. And the tree of life, it's like having a clear path all the way down to manifestation. If we have blocks and dark aspects on every sephira, that's what we're doing. We're seeing the darkness for what it is, learning from it. Now we're clearing all the dark aspects so we can just be in the now and manifest. No more steps, just straight from Keter Doesn't have to go through a masculine feminine filter of Chokmah and Binah. It just, bam, goes straight from Keter down to Malkuth. Instant manifestation from God to form. Because everything, all the pathways are cleared, so it's almost as if there's no pathway. It's just the pathless path. Boom. Center path right from spirit to form. From Keter to Malkuth. Boom. We only have to go through this journey, this inner journey, because there's all these blocks, darkness we need to discover, blocks we need to clear. When we've mastered ourselves, it's just crown chakra, root chakra, crown chakra, root chakra. Bam, 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 bam. But it comes from staying in your heart space and staying balanced. You have to master that first. Can't be a master manifester until you master the self. Whew. I was getting a little sweaty from that last little bit there. It comes and goes when the spirit flows. So that was probably a long time. I don't know, an hour and a half. Maybe. Okay, that was about, you know, what I would do for reading, an hour and 20 minutes, somewhere in there. So if I feel called later on today, we'll see. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow and some things I need to prepare for, but so I may not get to it for the full moon, but this is just a shamanic reading. I want to start doing those with the shamanic tarot and oracle deck and the animal decks that I have, and then this deck is really good for that too, the resonance oracle. So all right, I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed, got something out of it. At least one person got at least one thing, even if it triggered you. You know, we're planting those golden seeds, so that's all we can do as light workers, and just relay the messages best we can with this, you know, slow world down here in the 3D. So you know, let's be easier on ourselves and each other, and be a little bit more forgiving and understanding of the cumbersomeness of the Malkuth, of the kingdom, of the tangible world. The 3D patience is one of the biggest lessons we have to learn here, because it can be very slow. But once we master that, then we can be in the now, and everything can be instant. But we won't appreciate that unless we do it this way. Okay, so it's like that for a reason. It's divine. So, you know, all right. I love you guys. Peace and blessings.